tear us apart. Not life.
introduction that just by being a Christian, you are a potential leader. You are already a leader by virtue of being a believer. Because you may not hold a big title, but we all have a mandate to preach the gospel and to bring people to Christ. And therefore, we have a leadership role of carrying that gospel and eventually nurturing people to a place that they become mature and that they develop the full nature of Christ. So the calling is very important. When we don't have the calling, we find that ministry or leadership becomes cumbersome, becomes a struggle, because we are trying to impose ourselves because we have not been called. And we know there are so many people in the Bible, even in Scripture, who were evidently called by God. And we know how God helped their ministry. We know how God helped their leadership. Examples include Moses, Gideon, Peter, Paul, and in our dispensation, we have so many examples of those who are called. Brethren, in our quest for leadership, the question is, have we been called? In the area where you want to lead, have you been called? Is that the area of your calling? And all of us are called, but we need to identify the area of our calling. Because if we don't identify the area of our calling, if we want to lead in the area that is not the area of our calling, brethren, we will not fulfill purpose and indeed will struggle. So one of the prerequisites for being a good Christian leader is that you are called. And identifying the area of calling is very important. Another thing that we need to be Christian leaders is character. Brethren, like we said, to be a leader, you don't just give direction, but you build. You nurture people. You build people. You invest in people. And if you don't have the character of a leader, then it will become difficult to build the character of other people. It starts with us having the leadership characteristics for us to be able to build that even in those who we are leading. Again, David comes to mind. He had the character of a leader, and that is why he could nurture and help more than 400 people to build character, to build stamina, to build stature, and to become mighty men of war. We need a good character, because like Paul was admonishing people to look at him, he was confident in his character. He had a character that was befitting of a leader. That was befitting of a leader. And what are the qualities, what are the characters that we want to see in a good leader? This include honesty. Like Peter was saying, that a leader is one that is not dishonest, but one that has integrity. Brethren, we cannot be good Christian leaders if we lack integrity, if we are honest, if people who are following us, people who are leading, are not able to trust us, we cannot win their confidence, we cannot successfully lead people who don't trust us. So a very important character trait for a leader or a potential leader is honesty. A leader needs courage, because in the face of adversity, a leader is not one who will put people at the front. Even in the battlefront, even in the physical, a good commander, is not one who just tells people or who puts the weaklings in the war front, but a good commander, even in the physical, will take the lead to bolster the courage of those he or she is leading. So one of the character traits of a good Christian leader is courage. You are not the one who will run away in the face of opposition. You need courage, you need integrity. Character is very important. You also need humility. Brethren, like Jesus himself said that he came to serve, not to be served. And he showed an example. He himself, being God incarnate, was washing the feet of the disciples, showing a great example of what a leader should be, that a leader should serve and not seek to be served. Character is very important if we will be Christian leaders, because as once somebody wrote, it said the true test of a man, the true test of a leader is not where he stands in the place of peace. It's not where he stands in the place, not where he stands in good times, but where he is found in moments of adversity. So it takes character to stand in the time of opposition, in the time of adversity. It takes a good leader even to navigate those challenges. A good leader, a good Christian leader for that matter, is one who perseveres, because there will be challenges. There will be challenges. If you are not one who is given to patience, even those you are leading will provoke you to beyond boundaries, will test you beyond limits. And if you are not patient, you may abort the mission and the mandate that God has placed on you. A good Christian character of a leader is to be one who exercises patience, and another character of a good Christian leader is one who is decisive. You are not one who is indecisive. You take a decision and then you are malleable in the hands of the people. You are easily influenced, but once you know that the decision is part of the mandate that will bring you to the calling of God for the project, brethren, you need to be decisive. You cannot be seen to be one who is not courageous, who cannot take a decision and stand by it. This does not mean that you are not listening to the people. This does not mean that you are not taking advice. But when your followers see that you are indecisive, you take a decision, they rise to it and they follow you. And by the next day, you are changing decision. When you are altering, when you are not stable in your decision making, it makes for a bad leader. So one of the character is very important. Character is very important when it comes to leadership, and especially Christian leadership. Brethren, as a leader, we need to identify our gifts and potentials, because we talked about the calling of God upon us as leaders. For every position that God calls you, He gives you gifts and potentials to fulfill the mandate. So it's up to us, for us to be able to identify those gifts and potentials that align to the calling that is upon our life. Without our calling, without the potentials, without identifying the gifts which are in us, we may begin to struggle in the area of our calling, and we cannot adequately lead others if we don't have potentials, if we don't identify and harness the gifts and potentials that are given to us by grace, even to fulfill that mandate. As a leader, we need skills, we need knowledge, and as leaders, we need to constantly develop our